Hello everyone, how are we all doing this evening? I'm Daquan Reezy if you guys haven't heard of me or it's your first time viewing this channel, and I'm about to talk about my team and how I've replicated or copied the Bromley mid-block mastery that won us promotion last season. And without further ado, I'm going to show you the tactics. And this video is sponsored by, actually no, I don't have a sponsor. I mean, in the future I would like to get a sponsor, but I'm also using totalfootballanalysis.com, and the analysis I'm going to give you, most of the analysis is on the website, but I'm also going to give my own personal insight on how it was reflected in game as well, with the performances that we've had using the Football Manager 2004 engine to see if this tactic would be very effective in the updated version of the database, since I did a Bromley career, but I used a 4-2-3-1 wing play and I scored a lot of goals with that. It was a very dominant tactic, 131 goals in over the course of the National League. I was in the playoffs as well, took part in the playoff campaign as well. So there was that as well. So let me talk about what I say is the mid-block mastery, the MBM for short. And this is the Bromley version of the mid-block mastery. Well, there's going to be a few mid-block masteries. I'm just trying to figure out how else I could play the mid-block, but this is the Bromley version of the mid-block mastery. Try to replicate it like real life, but I know Bromley play a 5-3-2 because I've been to the games, but I've decided to go with a 5-2-1-2 just so I could play with Ben Crowhouse and get him more involved in the attacks as well. Because once we get to the in transition, which is the most important thing, I'm going to show you guys why I've decided to have an attacking midfielder rather than the three holding midfielders. Important. So, tactical style, I went, you got all these tactical styles here, or you could do like a clean slate one, but most importantly, I copied the fluid counter-attack version because that's the way Bromley were playing last season, and it got us promoted, so had to run it back. So yeah, fluid counter-attacking system. Well, if you don't know what it is, looks to draw the opposition forward to leave them vulnerable on the break. Players will be fluid on the counter, trying to combine with each other and carry the ball with clear intent. It is a bit different. The fluid and direct is a bit different. The fluid on the counter, trying to combine with each other, carry the ball with clear intent. The direct is to go quickly as possible on the counter attack to exploit bases in behind. It's a bit different. I always go fluid over direct purely because I want to keep that ball tension during counter attacks, so I don't get counter attack myself, if you know what I mean. So the mentality we have here is a balanced mentality. Yes, you start off with cautious. You start off with cautious if you copy the fluid counter attack, but if you do this on a clean slate, it will be unbalanced regardless. Balanced, keep it at balanced only. That's the best way to approach it. However, during certain instances, you may look to go positive, you may look to go attacking, but again, it's not a necessity. You have to go positive as well, because again, or you having to go attacking, because like I said, the intensity if you go attacking is just unreal. And the amount of injuries you get in this league, and bearing in mind you only have 5, bearing in mind in the Vanarama National League, more importantly even in Skybet League 2, which is where we're going to be in, you don't want your players getting injured, because it's important to have it's important to have most of your squad fit there. If you lose a couple of key players, you're in trouble. So yeah, that's how it is. Anyways, let's go into the instructions now. In possession, so the attacking width, I could have gone wide, but I've chose fairly wide. I want my left backs, I want the wing backs to be narrow and just not hugging the byline. Let's be real. Because again, wary of the counter attacks, need to get back into position, especially to defend the counter attack, and especially to defend passes that will go out to the flank as well, which is important there for us. Again, passing directness, we went with a slightly more direct passing approach, because that's the way Bromley play. I mean, we could have gone much more direct, but that cancels out the work ball into box instruction. So especially slightly more direct will give you the option of working ball into the box, which you can deploy, especially if you are missing a lot of chances. Tempo is slightly higher. Playing for set pieces as well. Play for set pieces will carry. Yeah, play for set pieces. That's standard. Run at defense is also standard with this mid-block mastery. Bromley FC. In transition, I always do the in transition. Counter press, counter, distribute, roll it out. So again, not really much to talk about here, apart from I've used the cam to basically have 5 players when counter attacking instead of the 4 players. I'd only have, what I'm saying. So yeah, and then the defensive shape, out of possession, defensive shape is a mid block and the standard defensive line. Pure mid. But that's the whole point of the tactic. Trigger press more often as well. Don't want to do much more often because again, intensity, you know what I mean? But yeah, and again, you don't want to, technically, we don't really press. We don't really press, especially from the front. Man, Sheik doesn't really press the ball. Alamola don't press the ball either. They look to drop back into the space and look and just be ready for if the opposition misses the pass, then they'll be ready to pounce. But the game engine is a bit different here, and game engine is different here. Let's be real. So yes, that is my tactic. Set piece wise, again, set pieces. Honestly, it doesn't really matter who you have as set pieces, but yeah, A1, Deji, A1, Deji, and A2, Bayern Webster, A3, Aaron Kirk. So A1, A2, A3 is all the central defenders you can see here, assigned to their positions as well. Player mark, they're going to mark the biggest aerial threats. A4, which is topology, A4, A5, they're going to zonally mark the 6-yard box, topology, cheek as well, in case. And then the trackers as well. I think the trackers, they're going to be the guys that aren't aerially agile, but the rest of them, they're going to be trackers. They're going to track the runs and then try help out the aerial defenders. You know what I'm saying? Outside of the box, basically everyone's back. So basically nobody's counter attacking, which is crazy, because I told all my team defend the box, just defend the box, because I don't really trust. I don't trust, you know. But attacking wise, you know, we had two options here. You know, two options here. I always like to do like the in-swing far post. Always like to do in-swing far post, especially with, you know, how with the corner taker, Alfie Lewis. I mean, I don't know which side this is on. Oh, this is left. Oh, this is the left-sided corner. So, yeah, left-sided corner. That's the corner taker here. Best aerial threat will attack the far post as well. But what I normally did was the center. And obviously, of course, yeah. Best aerial defender. Well, aim for the center. Well, you know, you could even do like so much with it, but normally I would have tend to mixed it up just in case of, you know what I'm saying. But normally I would you know, when I do in swing, I attack the far post. I attack it purely because, well, we have the best aerial threats, our three centre backs as well. Byron Webster isn't as tall as the other guys, so yeah, he attacks the ball from the edge of the area, and then A4, who's A4? A4 lurk at near post in case anything is. Then the best creator, then the best creators. C1 lurk outside areas, recovery defenders stay back if needed. Only one player staying back, and then obviously Passley is there as well. So we've got a lot of players up there for the corner. A lot of players will defend the box. When we defend the corners, we've got everyone back. But we've got everyone forward. Let's see with this. Sometimes I went for in-swing centre just to cause confusion, in the ranks. And I have to admit, doing like an in-swing, centre, I can't lie, it actually did bits. But yeah, we go to the right-hand side now. Right-hand side, Ben Krauhaus. Krauhaus is there. Again, Deji attacking the far post. Kirk marking a keeper. Byron Webster attacking. And then Michael Cheek is there as the lurker. And then that pretty much is how it be. Obviously, if I decided to take the short corner, decided to take the short corner as well. Like, you know, you could probably tell, you know, here in this case, Alfie Lewis C1, literally, alright, cool, come here, let's do the short corner. But reality is, I definitely didn't want to do like short corners as well, because I had aerial threats and I wanted to use these aerial threats as well. But yeah, the outswinger, if I went for it, yeah, it would just be the standard near post. But that's really it. But with my corner tactics, it wasn't really effective. The outswing near post. So I decided to go with centre. Decided to go to the centre for this obvious reason. Centre. Aiming for the centre can cause confusion, but again, it goes to the goalkeeper quite a lot. So again, it's one of them things. Obviously, free kicks, shooting range. I don't really focus on the free kicks as much. But again, free kicks, shooting range, yeah, they're just going to be shooting. But yeah, A1, all the aerial threats are in the line as well. In the line, ready to cause chaos as well. And then there's Passley there, also looking to cause chaos. And then the creators as well. Can, you know, if we decide to pull pull short, if we decide to pull short. Or aerial threats, you have aerial threats, creators, recovery, or box threats as well. I've never done box threats. The players in the team are good at anticipating and flick ones or knockdowns in the box. Oh, okay, that's how it is. I didn't really check as well. Defending free kicks was pretty much would it be A1 A1, A2, C3. All the guys are in the mark. This other guy is also here. Then the tracker as well, C5. Form wall if needed. Then let's attack. But yeah, free kicks. Again, wide free kicks as well. How I defend them. Deep as well. Throw-in. Yeah, throw-ins defensive. Throw-ins defensive. Defensive third. Then the middle. Then the middle as well. Middle was basically me. Handles were basically me. Retaining possession. Doing the throws. And then working a line if I wanted to attack. If I wanted to attack or needed to attack as well. But technically, what it is with this Bromley long throws, this is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Because long throws, I've seen a fair amount of long throws in the Vanarama National League. And I wanted to see how I would get this long throws. But A1, Byron Webster, well, you know what's funny? Byron Webster has 10 long throws, so yeah. 10 long throws, so again, if I couldn't really deploy the long throw tactic like that, just because the game engine was gonna absolutely shaft me, but yeah. We have no players that can take a long throw. Yeah, absolutely shafted here. But this is the Bromley long throws that I was talking about. Deji A1, A2. These guys here will look to win the flick on and get it to A3. Here to actually get the header in to the back of the net. So 10 long throws. Yeah. That's not the lap range. The lap range, you're probably talking, it has to be 16 plus for the lap range, probably even 18 plus for the lap range. It's not possible. It's not possible to not get the flick on. It's not possible to get it to A3. It's not possible in the game engine. So you have to do the flick on. Again, then D as well, D3. D3 will also be up there. A4 lurking at the far post. Then Pasley there lurking as well. Then Crowhouse lurking in case if the opposition do clear the long throw, then you want your technical guy. On the edge of the area that can just pack them in. Then Ashley Charles stays back there. So that is how long throws are done. Yeah, but you need a player that's good at the long throws for it to work. But yeah, attacking free kicks. Again, it's quite standard. Deji will attack the far post. Kirk attacks the near. And then Webster gets forward. And then Sheik gets forward. And then the creators lurk outside. But normally, you want to aim for the cross center. You want to aim for, like, normally, you want to mix it up. You want to mix it up. You want to mix it up. You want to mix it up as well on the free kicks, which is actually quite nice. And you can also do outswingers. You can also do outswingers, or you could also do inswingers as well. I never really focused on free kicks like that. But yeah, you can do in-swingers, out-swingers on these ones. Deep free kicks. Deep free kicks. Deep free kicks. And then deep free kicks. I mean, you can go short. Build an attack. But again, doing cross from deep. Cross from deep. You have to do it. But yeah. Oh yeah, I ain't talked about the penalties. The penalties for the team were all taken by Michael Cheek. Yeah. Enough said with the tactics. So I wanted to talk about the tactics and how these tactics were able to get us third place, 81 points, with Vanarama's best defensive record, the fewest losses, and how we won promotion to League 2 after 2 failed playoff campaigns. We got third time lucky and we're in League 2. So, using data from the totalfootballanalysis.com, we have the mid-block, which I talked about here, and the counter press, which I also talked about as well, with the tactics. Defensive discipline is important in Woodman's tactics. We conceded 49 goals before the playoffs tournament began. And yes, our possession of 41.9 was the second lowest in the National League, but we still managed to get promoted. We recorded the division's lowest challenge intensity of 5.2 and third highest PPDA 13.54, indicates a team that likes to fight pressure deeper than the front line. We don't like to sit deep. We instead utilize the well-structured mid-block, which protects the back line nicely, which is why I have the 2 holding midfielders holding instead of being more attacking centre mids. You see what I'm saying here? So basically, what we have here was 7 players basically in the defense, and then the front 3 was just simply the front 3. But bearing in mind we had all these guys on support, well, this is my first choice midfield, all of these guys were in support. Basically, yes, supporting. You know what I'm saying? And then we have Kirk and Deji on central defenders on defend. Yeah, central defenders on defend. Central defenders on defend. I mean, Kirk can play central defender, he can play ball playing. Doesn't really matter anyway. But for this, I'm going to go with central defender period because I'm going to have a central defender, all central defenders. And Byron Webster is the central defender on stopper as well. So, yeah. Barnett, okay, defensive territory, we defend more like. Let's compare us to like Barnet, because Barnet, they ranked high for pressing metrics, possession, ball dominant team who aggressive off the ball. Like, we're not, like, we don't set out to park the bus, but we're not a high pressing team either, which is why we set up with the mid block as well. In one of our games against Oxford City, we set up the midfield, the mid block, and in the screenshot here, we actually had a 5-4-1. So we had a 5-4-1. Most of the time, we used a 3-5-2, 5-3-2, but regardless of the formation change, the mentality, the structure, still the same. And the centre forward is not engaging with the ball or the opposition. And I was thinking, oh, how come they're not engaging? Now I know why they're not engaging. Total Football Analysis has truly saved me. And this is what I'm coming on here to tell you guys about TotalFootballAnalysis.com. And Cheek's role is like I said before, latch on to poor loose passes, poor touches, good supporting position to support Olamola Krauhaus in event of a turnover in possession. Now the midfield two, which is basically these two guys here. Now I know Alfie Lewis, you're thinking, oh, who's Alfie Lewis? Who's Alfie Lewis all of a sudden? But I had to sign a midfielder. Let's be real. I had to basically use the free agency to sign a midfielder because I didn't really have the caliber of midfielders that I'd like. Tate Campbell was injured, barely played him. Saliba as well. Ryan Jones, I barely even used him. Vennings was my only real good midfielder. So I needed to dip in the market and go get another midfielder at the club. And for our League 2 campaign, we quite simply had to go and address the midfield as well. So, like I said, now you might be thinking the game engine, well, we like to remain compact, aim at blocking the line breaking, penetrating passes from deep positions. Should that part break the midfield line, the distance between the midfield and the back line short enough to deny the opposition a strong opportunity to take advantage. The pass makes it through into the highlighted zone. One of the Bromley centre backs will be there to quickly push the forward and the ball backwards. So this is why we have Byron Webster, he's lost his legs, he has a 5 pace, he's the stopper. So when Byron Webster is obviously, he's going to step out and engage, and then the two younger centre backs can also back him up as well. The opposition can try get down the flanks. Midfield is going to shift over to that flank whilst maintaining that compact shape as well. Wing back, nearest midfielder, plays an important role. The wing backs normally engage with the wingers. That's duels. Like, we don't press the opposition, but we've displayed the ability to win the ball high areas. 449 high regains is just 14 short of Barnett's total. Again, comparisons, but counter pressing. Oh yes, counter pressing. Very important. It's important. It's in the Bromley impetus. 725 counter pressing recoveries. Tells you a lot about what Woodman is trying to do about Barn at Bromley, and that number exceeds Barnet total by 12. You can't judge a team. Listen, you can't judge teams' defensive styles based on isolated statistics because you can't. It's not possible. Because the game engine, I didn't even play defensive at all because I was one of the top goal scorers and I had one of the best defenses. So I wasn't going into games with an intent to shut up shop unless I know that I was going to lose that game. I was scared of losing that game, you know what I'm saying? But again, strong defensive output, it continues on from the 2022-2023 campaign.
the lack of ability to match the attacking output of the teams around them has carried over to this team. But let's get one thing straight. We're not a poor attacking side. We scored 73 goals in the league, averaging 1.47 goals per 90, which is the league's 6th best goal scoring rate. So we could score goals. Like, but let's be honest. We don't have an attack like Chesterfield. We don't have an attack. We didn't have an attack like when Notts County was in the Vanarama League, National League, and Langstaff was just scoring goals at will because he could, and because, you know, Langstaff had that ability of scoring goals at will. Bearing in mind, Notts County, last time Notts County was in the National League, they scored 117 goals total, and Langstaff got a third of it, and Langstaff got around almost a third of that number, which just tells you everything you need to know about Notts County and how dominant they really was. But we need to find more attacking impetus next season in the higher division. So yes, Bromley shot assist. They ranked fairly low for cross attempts per 90. Many other goals were built up, open play being built up from central areas. They're not effective on wide or aerial attacks. They're one of the best divisions from attacking set pieces, which I discussed as well with the set pieces as well. But normally, like I said, we normally just focus play through the middle as well. So that's what we did. But for the game engine, I could have put focus play through the middle because my wing backs wouldn't even get assists like that, and I wanted to then get assists. So yes, quick combinations in central areas in the final third, critical component of Bromley's attack. 9.73 shots per 90. Chances in front of goal. They show a good attacking edge to carve out chances through the centre by using good off the ball movement when capitalising on a successful counter press. Long shots may not enter any minds, but we scored 46 goals from outside the box. Only 4 teams in the National League top that number. It's impressive. Listen, like I said, this is the reason why I didn't have work ball into box, because I know how good we are. Well, with long shots and set piece ability came in clutch, and I hope we still play for set pieces, and set pieces will be our danger weapon. We bagged 12 from corners this season. There's not noticeable consistent plans in terms of like delivery, positioning within the box as well. And I mean, I mixed it up with the in-swingers, out-swingers. The 2 attackers began a sequence in the 6-yard box, dangerous area. Corner taker proceeds to deliver the ball. 2 attackers be away from the danger zone with the aim of dragging opposition bodies with them to create space and chaos within the 6-yard box. And that's how we scored. Aerial ability has always seemed to come in handy for long throws, another attacking weapon. In fact, the aerial ability is reliable across the pitch. Win rate of 49.6%, third highest in the National League. We scored a long throw against Altrincham as well. So yes, to finally end this video, we've actually had a historic promotion with refreshing tactics that aren't possession heavy, and if we keep the same philosophy, I reckon we're going to have a decent season and we will consolidate. So yes, many teams will come up and play possession-based football as well, but arguably Notts County was one of those teams, and they tried to do it in League 2, but they got totally exposed because of it. And the games that they lost as well was crazy. They lost to Forest Green on the final day. They got battered by Stockport at home, the League 2 champions. They lost to Swindon, they lost to Salford, they lost to Crawley, they lost to Wimbledon, they lost to Sutton twice, by the way. Crewe, Wrexham, Gillingham, Mansfield. They drew 5. They conceded 5 at Grimsby, 4 against Tranmere, So bearing in mind Notts County had a change in manager as well, but he couldn't address the defensive frailties and the fact that the Notts County defence was consistently getting exposed time and time and time again. 4-1 at home to Mansfield. Absolute battering. 5 goals away. Conceded 5 goals away at Colchester. Never ideal. 5 goals away at Sutton was never ideal as well. And Notts County, you can see in the transfer market, they're trying to address the weakness, which is defence, and most of their signings have been defensive signings. So that's what I wanted to point out as well. But Byron Webster was cold, ice cold when he stepped up for his promotion while wearing the EFL captain's armband. Like, this guy has been crazy, but again, I'll probably show you a few highlights before we end the video here, because we need to basically have a look at this tactic and see how the tactic was shaping up, and yes, see how the tactic has really come. But yeah, in the game we had, in this 5-3 match, we had 48% possession and basically more shots on goal. So yes, against Southend as well, in this 4-3 victory, you can see we only had 35% possession against the Shrimpers. We conceded more fouls than them. Southend had more corners, and our pass accuracy wasn't even that great, but we ended up winning the game 4-3. And at times, the victory, at the time, the victory was almost going to be convincing as well. Look at that. Header, crossing from the left flank, header. That's a set piece goal right there from a deep free kick. And Southend respond with one of their own. That's me working the throw on. And that's another header.